I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel for a little minute. I'm always like, what am I going to talk about, right? But I guess the biggest thing doesn't matter what I'm going to talk about, because the more you do it, the more things come to your mind. The biggest thing is just starting in journal. So I'm not the best at editing. I don't have the most equipment, but what I do have is a nice iPhone 13 Pro and pretty nice little smile, some pretty decent lighting. And I feel like I have a lot to share with you guys, especially when it comes to people. Oh my gosh, especially when it comes to people our generation, right? My age. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Eric Diggs. Recent grad from Cornell University. Also former Division I football player. About to start working in the finance industry. I would say that I'm someone who has set myself up to be ahead of my peers, and that doesn't come lightly. It comes from thinking different since day one, which anybody and everybody says that, but it's one thing to put into action. I believe that my fruit speaks for itself. And I'm not done yet. I'm just getting started. But I do believe that there are things that I've seen, I've observed, that I can start sharing each and every day, just to encourage and to motivate you guys as well. For me personally, I love watching motivational content. I love watching different podcasts on YouTube, and just listen to people who talk about being different, setting yourself up ahead, sacrificing your wants now so that you can live the life you want later. Just talking about self-discipline and things like that. But, it's one thing for, people who are 10, 15 years older than me to say it, but it's another thing for somebody who was in their early 20s, who just got out of college and who has lived the lifestyle that I want to live at a young age, right? A lot of people always tell you, wild out while you're young. And then when you get older, then you can lock in and get serious. But the reality of it is, if you set yourself up now when you're young, then for the rest of your life, you'll be chilling. But if you waste your young years, then for the rest of your life, you'll be grinding. And people don't really talk about that. So I don't know what exactly I'm saying, but I hope that it is encouraging. I just want to challenge myself to just get on here to speak and to post it and see what happens from there. And along the process, along the journey, yeah, maybe I'll start getting better at editing. Yeah, maybe I'll start having more prepared content. But I think the biggest thing is just starting. So I want you guys, if you have any goals, dreams, desires, and it seems big and you don't know where to start somewhere, because I believe we all know where to start. But the thing that scares us is that we don't know what the next step is after that, right? But a lot of times what I've been told is, like, when you're chasing a big dream, right, it's like being in fog. Like in front of you, 100 yards in front of you, you see like there's fogginess, right? And you can't see what's beyond the fog. However, you can see 100 yards in front of you. So if you just start walking and taking that step towards the 100 yards in front of you, then guess what? Once you get to the new 100 yards that was in front of you, oh my gosh, you're going to see another 100 yards. But you would never have seen that 100 yards if you hadn't taken the first steps before. Hope you're following along with what I'm saying. I hope I'm not confusing you. But I would just say the biggest thing is just starting. And so instead of me talking about it, I want to put it into action. And I want you to follow my journey along and see where it takes me, right? Again, I've done this on TikTok, but I want to move on to YouTube so I can produce longer form content, have a more sustainable platform. And just because I love consuming YouTube content as well. So I believe it'll be very beneficial for me to have my own YouTube account and really take time into pouring and investing in it. And instead of making all the excuses in the world why I can't do it, let's just start uploading and see what happens. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? And I believe that people aren't looking for perfection. They're looking for consistency. And I know that if you're persistent, you'll get it. But if you're consistent, you'll keep it, right? So biggest thing is going to be being persistent in the beginning to get it off the ground. But in the end, just being consistent to keep it going. I love hearing stories about, like, you see all these stories about people that are seemingly blowing up out of nowhere, right? But then if you dig back into their history, right, man, they've been grinding at YouTube for 5, 6, 7, 10, 15 years, some of them. And they're just not blowing up now, what it seems like out of nowhere, but they were putting in the work. Yeah, they had 800 straight days where they were uploading videos different people have been watching and being inspired by. And now, just now, like you see them now, they got hundreds of thousands of subscribers. But that came because they simply just started. And as they went along in the process, they got better. They got better at speaking. They got better at creating content. They just got better at being in the camera, got better equipment. It got better over time. So don't worry about where you're at right now, because it's going to get better over time. But you got to start today. Because if you don't start today, the days are going to pass. Regardless of whether you start today or don't start, the days are going to continue passing. And you're going to get 2 years down the line and you're like, dang, I wish I would have started 2 years ago. Right? Hey, if I go 2 years of this, right, and I see no results, that's cool. Because it's the same thing as me not doing anything for 2 years. But at the same time, every little step matters. And if you are consistent, and if you are persistent, you will get results. That's just the way the world works. But are you going to be consistent enough to see it all the way through? Or are you going to quit right before you see the breakthrough? I believe a lot of people, right before you're in your breakthrough, it gets hard, it gets tough, and then you quit. And that's like, dang, bro, you was right there. And so here I am. You know, sometimes I like talking, right, and processing. And why not talk and process to the camera and then share with the world? Because I know you guys are going through the same things I'm going through. I know there's relatability in what I'm going through, especially if you feel like you're a chosen one on a different path. You're going to have the same thoughts and feelings that I'm going through. And so instead of just keeping it all in, it's good to get it out and about. And, you know, why not put it out for you guys to process? And maybe you guys can help me process some stuff in the comments and different things like that. But yeah, I just want to get on here and start this YouTube journey and see where it takes me. Because I did the same thing on TikTok. I was genuinely creating just to create. And now, you know, I'm over 100,000 followers on TikTok, and I expect to grow it even more. But I like getting on here because I can be a lot more personable on here than I can on TikTok. And like I said, I believe this is a more sustainable platform. And it's just, you know, a new challenge, a new outlet. And so seeing everybody else, you know, be successful and well. And so why watch when you can partake, right? And I understand it's not an overnight success thing. Whenever somebody tells you get rich overnight or gain 100,000 subscribers overnight, this is how you're going to do it, it's not true. There's no get rich quick, but there is consistency and perseverance. And if you put in the work, you will see the results. One of my favorite Bible verses, I'll leave you guys with this, is Galatians 6, verse 9, which says, do not get weary in well doing, for in due season you will reap a reward if you do not give up. So don't give up. Don't get weary. Stay consistent. But it all starts with simply starting.